Hey everyone, it's Mark with Mark's Virtual Real Estate Channel, and we are back in Upland with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about yield and making money kind of through rent with your properties in Upland versus flipping them, and which one I think is better. So I'm going to go through some math on this, show you some of the numbers and why I do what I do. And a lot of this comes from real life investing too. I said it a lot of times. We flip houses in real life. We did 16 flips last year. 15 the year before that, 26 the year before that. So we do a lot of house flips, and I have rental properties too. I've got around 204,000 square feet of rental properties, commercial, residential, and I love them both, but they both kind of have specific purposes and can make you money in different ways, help you build wealth in different ways, help you build income in different ways. And I don't think there's one that's always absolutely better than the other, but there are one strategy that is usually better than the other in certain situations for certain people at certain times in their life. So I'm going to go through kind of how that might apply to Upland. I think it's a little different in Upland. Obviously, it's a virtual real estate game. It's not real estate. It's easier to manage properties and get rent when it automatically comes in all the time. And it can also be easier to flip too. But some of those differences do have me lean towards one strategy over the other, at least for right now. But you can still do both at the same time, which is pretty cool. All right, so we're going to talk about that. As you can see, I got my Spark from the Detroit Thrifty Trader sitting right here. So I just logged in this morning and was kind of wondering, hey, is that going to come? And it did, so that's pretty cool. So I probably will get my Block Explorer here soon. And I thought they said they're giving UPIX as well. I haven't seen that yet, but maybe it will right after I click this. Who knows? All right. Love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. Keep those coming. And, of course, check out my real estate channel, Invest for More. We're buying a new business this week again. I had a lot of information on other flips, rentals on there, walkthroughs of everything. Tend to have a lot of drama in my life in real estate. So if you haven't seen that channel, a lot of crazy stuff tends to happen to me. And it's pretty fun and interesting and sometimes stressful, but mostly fun. So, all right. So first off here, we're going to collect our Spark. Yay. And I'll click on here on my profile. And there it is. Oh, no, there it is. My Spark went up. So that's pretty cool. And actually, one thing I'm going to do, I said I was going to talk about it here in a future video on the Upland cars and how those are working and everything. They are building, let's see if I can find it. I always have problems finding out. An auto, not there, manufacturing plant. And, oh yeah, it was up here by the football stadium somewhere, by the Oracle. I don't know, I can't find it. But they're building an auto manufacturing facility in Upland, which is pretty cool. And I bought some properties in Santa Clara because that's where it's at, just because I figured if they're building the manufacturing plant there, it probably will become a more popular place. I was just trying to see what prices are doing right there. I know I get distracted easily. 23.5. I feel like that's about what I paid for mine. Anyway, okay, I found it. So I'll just show you where it's at. Right here in that area, there's a stadium. In the Oracle campus right here is kind of where they're built. There it is. And you can stake Spark. And they've said maybe win some prizes and different things. And I've been trying to do that. And I've never had the ability to do it because, yeah, either it says max staking is 0 or 0.01. And obviously I can't stake that much, so I have not been able to stake anything because I don't know how to get down to. Can I do? No, it doesn't let me stake. Oh wait, did it let me do that? So I think it's full. I think unless I'm just doing it wrong and someone can tell me. That's why I love my YouTube channel, because I do things wrong all the time and people tell me how to do it right. So thank you everyone who does that. But anyway, cars are coming to Upland. I was going to see if I could stake some Spark and help out, but I can't. So getting back to yield versus flipping. we're going to go to Detroit because Detroit's been very good to me. And I do have just a little Word document up here where we can do some of the numbers and show you why I do what I do. And I have my trusty calculator, of course, which I'll make sure it's over here so my face isn't covering it, because I might have done a video yesterday from my other channel that I did that on. All right. So a lot of people I see post on like the Discord, or there's some cool Facebook groups for Upland about how, hey, I just got to 50,000 UPIX per month, or I just got to 100,000 UPIX per month. And what they're talking about is like your yield. So every property in Upland has a yield, an amount of money it makes every month based on the mint price. So for example, we're going to just go up here. These are some properties I minted. That's what I wanted. And we can look at this property on Vaughn Street in Detroit, and you can see the earnings for this property. So if we click on that, we can see it's not in a collection. We can see what the earnings are without any collection in it, and every town has just a collection for the entire town. You can see if you have this property in that collection, it boosts the earnings by a little bit there. Now this earning yield is about 14% of the mint price per year. So I'll show you how we do that. 55.90. Oh, that's not the mint price. There's my mint price right there. I minted it for 47.88. 47.88 times 0.14, so we're multiplying by 14%, gives you 670 a year. You divide that by 12, you get 55.86 per month. And I think why that's higher is because it... Okay, so as being dumb, I'll delete most of my ranting there because this is our monthly earnings right here, 57, which is what I kept getting. I was looking at the boosted earnings, which is for newbie in Detroit. Those are in collections. So there's your monthly earnings right there. But if you have it in any kind of collection at all, you can boost that to be higher. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to say we have 100,000 UPIX to spend. Nope, we're going to make it more than that. We're going to make it 1 million. There, 1 million UPIX to spend on properties that gain yield. Nope, it fixed it for me. Thank you. So if we just had 100,000 UPIX, we could go out there and we could buy properties that at mint in LA, in Detroit, in Nashville. There's quite a few places that still have properties we can buy, mint them, pay no fees basically to get them because we're minting them. So we could have that 14.717% yield. So how much would that make us if we took all of our $1 million UPIX, sorry, it's not dollars, and we multiply it times 0.14717, we get 147,170 UPIX a year, right? That's per year. And then we divide it by 12, we make 12,264 UPIX per month. 12,264 per month. Now, that's okay, right? That's not bad. But I mean, even if I put this number up here, the bigger number, you know, something like that per year, that's going to take you a really long time to get anywhere in the game. I mean, yes, you're earning passive income, you're earning a percent on your money, but again, it's UPIX, it's not real money. It's not like you're getting dollars on it. You'd have to take those properties and sell them at some point to actually get your dollars back. And at that point, you're probably selling them for less than you could if you sold them for UPIX. So what we're seeing is your million UPIX gets you 147,000 UPIX per year. Now we can go to a compound interest calculator, which we're going to do right here. I was thinking of doing this. We're just coming up with ideas. So, you know, this is something a lot of stockbrokers, people will tell you, just contribute $1,000, you know, a month for 40 years and eventually you'll be able to retire. Those things drive me crazy because I don't want to wait 40 years to retire. I'm a very aggressive investor. So We're gonna take our thousand, or sorry, million. We're gonna pretend these are UPIX, not dollars. We're gonna not have a contribution yet. We're gonna say 10 years. The interest rate is 14.17. So no, 717. No variance. Compound it monthly. Let's see how much we end up with after 10 years of doing this. You have 4 million UPIX. So you're basically $1,000, if we're making easy math, turns into $4,300 after 10 years. So again, you know, stockbrokers, retirement people say, well, you have to have it in there for 30 years because that's when you get the real contribution, and then you'll have 80 some $1,000. But again, then you have to calculate inflation, which makes money worth less in the future. So this $80,000 is actually worth $40,000 in that range, maybe less depending on how high inflation goes. There's a lot of things to think about. But my point here is that even after 10 years of compounding your money, you've got 4 million UPIX, right? Now let's say you're able to put in $50 a month on top of that. Then you're buying properties. You've got 17 million UPIX. That's much better, right? But it's still taking you 10 years to go from a million UPIX after adding 50,000 a month, which you're adding. Let's see how much we're adding. Times 12, 600,000 a year times 10. You're adding 6 million. So basically your whole initial contribution from your own pocket is 7 million to make 17 million in 10 years. And again, that doesn't excite me. That doesn't make me say, oh wow, that's amazing. Now again, they'll say you need to do it for 30 years, and if we do that, then the numbers will look much better. But again, Upland might not be around in 30 years. Now you have 404 million UPIX. So your, 6 million turns into a lot more, but again, it takes 30 years. That's a long time. All right, what's my point in all of this? We're gonna go back to here. This could turn into 7 million after 10 years with no contributions. Okay, we're gonna go back to Detroit, and I'm gonna show you why I like flipping instead. So now there's not always the same opportunity to flip in Upland because city releases provide a lot of opportunity. I think I sold 14 some properties on grass shit. I think that's how you say it, but it sounds funny saying it, so I'll still call it G Street. Anyway, if I come back here, you can see sold one for 280. I think I bought that property for 104,000 UPIX, and this is one of my worst yielding ones. So we're going to use that property as an example on how that worked. Bought for, we're going to say 100,000 UPIX and sold for 250,000 to make the numbers easy. Gained 150,000 in profit, right? Pretty good profit in a week or two. That's pretty amazing. If I look at my percent return, that is 150,000 divided by 100,000. I made 150% on my money in a couple weeks. So if we took our 1,000 UPIX and tried to get up to, we can go down here. Here we're going to make it 10 again to make this simpler to read. And we want to get, or we take our million UPIX and we want to get to 1.5. See, look, you can, oh, it even has your contributions right there. I didn't have to do all that math. We want to get to 1.5 million. This has contributions. Never mind. Calculate it without contributions. There we go. Oh, there's 1.5. It takes us 3 years. Little over 3 years to go from a million UPIX to 1,000,005 UPIX, which is that, actually, I'm doing this wrong too. It's not, that's only a 50% return. We want to go from 1 million UPIX to 2.5 million UPIX. That's what I did. 6 years. It takes us 6 years to go from 100,000 to 250,000 with your yield. It took me 2 weeks to do it in Upland, sometimes faster by flipping. So even if we're not, even if we're buying a property for 100,000 and selling for 125,000, there's going to be 5%, maybe even 10% costs doing that. So 5% of 100,000 is 5,000. 5% of 125, I know I should be able to do that in my head, is 625. Those are your costs for selling, right? So that equals 11.25 in costs, because UPIX charges you a fee to buy it and to sell it, whereas if we're just buying it on the market. You still have 23,750 profit. You divide that. Well, it's easy. Buy your 100,000, 23% gain right there. So even if you're doing small flips and making 25, you have a 25% gain here. I didn't do that right. That's 12. I'm like, this math isn't right. Or 13.5. There we go. 13% return. Buy for 100, sell for 125. You're basically making a 13% return on your money by flipping. And if you do it in a week or two, there you go. Now, if you can do that, 10 times during the year, you've got 137% return by flipping just 10 properties every year in Upland versus your 14% yield here. Now, having said that, there's ways to bump this up. There's ways to get more yield. You can definitely do that. If we go to collections, you can boost stuff, right? We can boost our collection, by 1.8, by 2. We can boost our earnings. And then something else we can do is you can buy below mint too. So we can boost our earnings. It's not like you're stuck at that 14%. We can go to, I thought I had it open already. It might have been right here. upexland.me, and we can go to properties, property search. I don't want to advertise. We're going to go, where should we go? Nashville. It's still pretty cheap. And we're just going to click on every collection except for West Nashville. We're going to get everything in here if we can. Hopefully, and we're going to sort for sale UPIX, sort by markup. Hopefully it's able to pull all these up. I searched for a lot. Okay. So we can buy in collections for under mint in Nashville, in Parkwood, and West Nashville. So you can get something for 94% of mint, which increases your yield by, should be 6%, if we do the math here. So if we do 690 times the 0.147, you get 101,000. Then if we divide that by the actual price, which is 615, but you'd have to pay another fee there, you're getting 16.4% return on your money. Then you have the collection in Nashville, which we go right here to Parkwood. You multiply that by 1.5. Now, so we have 101,430 times 1.5. You're making 152,000 divided by 615,000. You're making 24% on your yield. So yes, you can come through here, increase this, boost it to 20% probably on your UPIX if you really work hard. That means you're making a lot more money. You're making 200,000 a year, divided by 12, 16,000, right, per month. But again, it doesn't compare to the flipping, and even the small time flipping will beat that with 2 properties flipped in a year at that little, yield there. Now, you can buy properties for yield in certain neighborhoods and hope they go up too. That's a good way to do it. But if you're only trying to maximize yield, you don't care about resale value, you don't care about flipping, you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table, because with just some simple flips, participating in city releases and trying to get properties on really good streets can make you a ton of money. Looking for good deals in collection neighborhoods, looking for, buying at the floor in certain neighborhoods and hoping they go up. All of that can make you some decent money flipping. And I've showed some other videos on how I flip on different streets, different collection areas, just looking for good deals. And that's maybe a ton of money. So I've probably spent a couple $1,000s in the game. I've got a 8.5 million UPX net worth or so. Let's see what it's at now. Yep. If I had just been investing for yield in the few months I've been playing, right, I'd probably have 2.2 million UPX instead of this amount I've gotten from flipping, participating in city releases, trying to turn properties, and not just going for that yield. So yield can work. It's great to have it. I like having that money coming in and wake up in the morning and say, oh, I can collect my earnings here. But you can make so much more flipping and really participating in the turning of properties. We don't have to repair them. We don't have to pay financing costs. We don't have to have property taxes and utilities like you do in real life. And so it makes it much easier than doing things like I do in real life. And the same for rentals. You don't have to have property managers and find tenants and things like that. So it's really cool in that manner. But as far as flipping versus yield and UPX, I will go with flipping all day long. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love to see your comments. Love to see suggestions, what you're doing in Upland and strategies. Like I said, we'll have a lot more cool videos here coming up. Love the likes and subscribers, because we're going to do some more on how much I made in Detroit on the auto group and some other cool stuff too. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more soon.